You won't have this again for 12 more years. So, but it also runs out on a year cycle after this. So a little bit shy of a year. Okay. By next summer, by next May, the promise is more money, more financial success. Simply that. Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're talking to you today about the month of June, the luckiest month of the year. There's a gorgeous setup for your finances this month ahead to increase significantly, as well as the possibility of an opening in love and romance. We do want to say that getting Chiron off your back after, since 9 years of harassing you in your house of friendship groups and places of collective belonging will feel like a breath of fresh air as you begin to experience a brand new Chiron story this month that will go on for 7 years. I love this month ahead for us as well because for Breast Gemini Sun, because we have a brand new moon in the sign of Gemini, and it's midwived by Mercury's energetic participation in a way that, again, can open you up to greater financial gain in your career or in your work life. So there's so many things about this month that I have to say for you Geminis that you really want to dig in and get the benefits from, because it is indeed a very positive month. Do I have a blurry camera? You'll just have to deal with it. All right, so let's get started and we're going to go ahead. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. We are using Western Tropical Zodiac, not sidereal. People ask me that in the comments. I'm just look at where the planets are. They're clearly Western tropical positions. In today's video, we're going to migrate through every single thing that you need to know about the planetary positions and how you can benefit from this sky. So settle in, take a pen and paper, get some notes. Let's get going. Before we do the actual month ahead, I have a couple of things I'd like to share with you. I am teaching my Divine Timing Masterclass, but jump on in late if you want. If you get this video before the last weekend in May, you could probably jump in for a great discount for the very last course, Distribution Through the Bounds, live teachings with me, Q&A weeklies and everything else. Go check it out below. I'll have a discount code there for the super late comers, and you'll be able to get the content that you missed as replay, housed forever and ever in my teaching platform for you. I may not teach this course again for a couple of years, so if you want to grab it, go for it. Second of all, I do want to let you know that I am so excited to have hit 150,000 subscribers and clawing my way up there for years. Finally made it. If you want to celebrate with me, use code CELEBRATE, all caps, and in the description box below, a link to my website where you can buy any of the courses I've taught. And I've now got on replay mode at lorilothian.com. And those will be available at 40% off. So you can, know how to find your family, children, and spouse, finding people in the chart, siblings, past lives, how to find those, finding your natural gifts and talents and career. All of the stuff will be available for 40% off. And that course, that price will only run through the month. Well, you hear this now through to the end of June. And finally, I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers and my fans here. You really helped me get to this 150,000 finally. And I'm really happy that you guys were always with me, liking, subscribing, and sharing. So everyone keep doing that. Chiron is going to move into Taurus this month. It's a big deal. And because of that, I have a webinar. Information to get into that webinar in the description box below. All right, so without guided meditation, let's get started. I don't want to waste time promoting when I could be telling you about the sky. All right, guys. All righty now. You've got this picture perfect sky for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising that's setting you up for a glorious month of June. I don't think there's much about this month that you're not going to say thank you to. Most importantly, you are Mercury ruled. You are the planetary ruler of your sign, and he's extremely busy this month doing good things for you. So let's go in the zodiacal order and talk about Mercury. Just know that Mercury on June 1st moves out of the sign of Gemini, and he will move into, on June 1st, your money house. And though there's something right away off the bat to pay attention to. Just before that, on May 31st into June 1st, you get this kind of climactic grand finale of a chironic wound that you've been trying to heal, connected to belonging, friends of groups, social networks, social circles, maybe even about some of your long-range goals, dreams, and plans for your life. And this chironic wound that's been niggling and nagging at you since 2019 is getting ready to test the earth of Taurus and move there on June 20th. And as that's getting ready to happen, Chiron and Mercury are doing a grand finale. Listen in on the last couple of days of May, first day of June, for some kind of insight, understanding, or idea that really clarifies something about your purpose and a new way to align it with your career. Okay. And the gains of your career. Look for that insight coming through at the beginning of the month and the very last couple of days of May. Then as we move forward into our days ahead, we're going to notice that we've got Mercury in your earnings house and money and pocketbook and resources, and he will be your ruler there, blessing you not for a little bit of time, from June the 1st to August the 9th. I know he's going to retrograde. So you got a huge amount of energy. Yes, he retrogrades June 29th, but we're covering that next month. So it's really all about how you're going to experience this part of your life. It's your voice, it's your calling, your vocation, and it's all blessed by the Jupiter-Venus conjunction that's coming through our sky. And so we're going to talk about that conjunction in a minute, but know that this is an extraordinarily powerful and positive energy for you. And it even includes a new moon this month. So it's probably going to be new ways for you to make money, new directions in your career for worldly success, and coming up with new ideas as well. And all of it can generate huge prosperity. On the 2nd of June, the sun is going to flow to Saturn. On Sun-Saturn flow energy, we kind of feel like hard work and perseverance and long game in our 11th house, the way we've been determined and perseverant and marathoning in terms of actualizing our long range wishes, goals, and dreams for our life. We haven't given up on it, but we're realistic, or even the way we gain money and earnings from the career. And that Saturn, although he's not in great dignity, will have some support from the sun. And so that sun looking back at Saturn indicates that there's something going on here where possibly you're going to come up with a new direction connected to career and career gains and success, connected to writing, communicating, marketing, selling, and teaching. And with Uranus there, and third house social media, with Uranus there, you could expect an insight like a blinding aha as well, illuminating a new third house idea. Of course, on a practical note, you could end up with a sudden opportunity to travel with a friend who's older or younger than you by 7 years, but mostly it's probably going to angle into career matters. Look for a sibling, one older, if you have one, being involved in some communication with you as well. This positive on June 2nd, give or take a day or two on either side. Okay. Try autism and bar stools. All right. I move into a new place with my own recording studio. I can't wait. A second bedroom. I'm like tired of trying to make my sofa and my bar stools work. Moving on, guys. Mercury trines the North Node on the 3rd. Mercury, information and news, money, earnings, resources. North Node, worldly success, fame and fortune, whatever you want, in your 10th house of visible career and visible reputation. Retired, what are you doing in the world that people see you doing, you retirees? I don't know what retirement looks like. I'm 64. How do people see you doing something in the world that you would describe as wanting to achieve something successful there? And then Mercury is in the earnings and resources and money house. This is a nice little touch point. This is a nice little glow up, and it's better than it could be because we have Jupiter and Venus here as well. And there's a huge amount of benefic energy financially and related to your career being offered up for you at the time of the 3rd. Mercury could bring you some information or news as well. It could escalate something to do with career accomplishment, rewards, and visible success. On the 9th of the month, and just Mercury does square Neptune, but that can be about coming to terms with realistic appraisals of your career, potential and successful at the same time experiencing success. You might even wean away something so that you can focus more on one thing and less on another in order to be successful in your career. So that's a vibe on the 3rd of the month, give or take a day on either side. With the energy of Venus conjunct Jupiter, the luckiest month of the year. Venus is a benefic, Jupiter is a greater benefic. The two of them are holding hands. They did this July of last year. And just like this year, they're also flowing to the node of fate in a whole sign way. So this is very unusual. We have it sometimes Venus-Jupiter conjunctions twice. Sequential years, but it runs for 12. So this is the last, you won't have this again for 12 more years. So, but it also runs out on a year cycle after this. So a little bit shy of a year. Okay. By next summer, by next May, the promise is more money, more financial success. Simply that. All right. And I, as a progressed Gemini sun, my career, moon, your home and nest, rising, your identity in the simulation, right? There is always going to be something blessed financially when these two get together here. Now, Jupiter and Venus together on the 9th, give it a couple days before and a couple days after, are going to kickstart something, right? It's a kickstart energy, a firing pin. It's going to, as I said, flow for almost a year through your chart as an energetic signature. And because Mercury's co-present here, and because Mercury is the marketing, selling, mercantile, merchant energy, this is increasing your sales and your merchandising and your success in your chart. It's especially valuable for those people who create their own work and business from home. Venus rules entrepreneurship. Mercury rules your 4th house. It's really super auspicious as well for any of you Gemini folk who might be considering the possibility of getting a job abroad or in a far off land or place. Okay. So maybe some of you have that up your sleeve, and that could open up doors of opportunity for that as well. And is there anything else I want to tell you about it before I move on? We'll be doing a deeper dive video on that on my channel. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Venus rules your house of romantic love. And because she's co-joining Jupiter here, who rules your house of commitment, this combination could indicate the onset, if you're with somebody, moving it on up to more of a legal marriage status or moving it into a cohabitational status. But if you're not and you're single, then this combination here with Venus ruling your 5th house is quite capable, with Jupiter ruling your commitment house, to bring you into contact with a new romantic story. And in that regard, that new romance could lead to a long-term commitment as well. So this is playing out for a year, but it's possible that you could get some evidence for this playing out sooner than that, anytime June 9th-ish onward. But it bakes in a possibility of new love that can become committed, all right, and also lead to a wedding, says Jupiter. Oh, and one more thing, good fortune. Yeah. And, just that Venus rules your house of good fortune. So it's like financial fortunes, good fortunes, fortunate feelings and circumstances. And she has her joy in your house of winning money. So yeah, you're one of the signs that you might want to try to win some money close to June 9th, play a ticket, know your limit, play within it. All right, continuing onward, because we're trying to keep these under 30 minutes. And so far, my first 2 videos are not, they're 33. We're going to talk about Mercury squaring Saturn, Mercury and Saturn. Okay. Well, Mercury has always something to say. He's like, I got some information. I got some news. I got to speak something here. Saturn. This is a difficult conversation. It could be with a friend, like in your social network groups. It could even be with a sibling, one older than you. If it's not a difficult conversation that feels like a roadblock or a stall, then it could be some difficult financial matters connected directly to the gains of your career, a slowdown, a pause, or a delay. I mean, it could even be a delay in the payment processor or the banking structures or things like that. Worst case scenario is something to do with tax taxes and some situations that you have to address. But whatever this is, it's not going to last very long. So it's a bleep in the day, you know? So look for that vibe of, oh, on June 10th, WTF, what do you mean I need to redo that part of my taxes? Or what do you mean that PayPal and Stripe is not delivering the information to depositing the money where they're supposed to, or whatever you do? Or what do you mean the check that the company wrote me bounced? So things like that are possible here, or a difficult conversation with a friend. And it may be about money, right? Who owes who what? Never know. All right. Because Mercury is with Jupiter and Venus, and Jupiter's bonifying everything here, it's likely to work out just swell. All right. So keep that in mind. Venus, the goddess of love and money, squares Chiron in the house of friends. Now, you've had this wound here for a long time. Chironic wound since 2019 February in the house of friendship circles and groups. Let me count the ways. I can tell you so many problems there for me. Pandemic, becoming single and no longer being invited to couples parties. If you're not a couple, you don't get invited. I don't know why. I never did that to people. But anyway, there's this wound in your social groups and networks here, as well as maybe the gains of one's career and long range plans. And when Venus is squaring the Chironic wound from the second house, it is a money house. So you might be feeling a Chironic wound around money connected to groups of belonging, friends, or career gains. It's almost similar to the vibe that Saturn is already giving you on the 10th. And now we're on the 13th. It's a tricky one, guys, because the wound could be more about all that hard work, like the Seven of Pentacles, and it wasn't really worth it. Because Saturn in the 11th house is not exalting the house of joy. He's stuck away from it, exiled from enjoyment, creativity, pleasure, and earning money. So there may be a really sobering, realistic moment where you're defining what life is about in terms of money, enjoyment, and pleasure realistically. And it may not even be a thing that happens, but a consideration you are making. Could be a financial challenge going on in the life of a child as well. And you're having to square away with how to maybe help or not help somebody with a financial challenge like a child. And obviously an adult child. And just because Jupiter's co-present, maybe even a spouse is having some financial challenges and you're trying to step in, it would activate the possibility of that as well. Now, all said and done, it doesn't last very long. So we're talking about the 13th of the month, and you can give it a couple of days before. Okay. I give you guidance to go deeper into what brings you joy in the way you make money, because that's what the deepest story is here. And that's what you want to pay attention to right here. Chiron and Venus. You've been dealing with that joy of making money story every single year since 2019 when Venus squares Chiron. But with Jupiter conjunction just behind her, solutions are here. There's ways around it. You don't have to work hard, make money, and not have enjoyment or fulfillment or whatever. On the 14th of the month, we have a 24 degrees new moon in Gemini for a fresh start in your identity. You are going to, rising sign Gemini, create a whole new you and be able to perceive a whole new you. Same with the sun, whole new you vis-a-vis career, moon, a whole new you versus Gemini moon, whole new you connected to your emotional and mental habits and thinkings or your home life. But because when this moon happens, Mercury is in the second house, this whole new you is connected either to food style, what you ingest in your mouth, or things connected to your earnings and savings and money-making strategies. This whole new you will be also connected to finances. And so you're coming up with a new version of something. The new moon can take up to 6 months to show you the way. Don't think it happens in a day. But if you need to look at the day is the 14th of the month. The moon is going to be new. It will be new at 24 degrees. If you have your sun, moon, and rising, I'd say 21 to 27 degrees of Gemini. It's extremely powerful for you. But all of you Geminis, sun, moon, and risings feel it nonetheless. The new moon sextiles Chiron in the house of career gains and earnings and can heal chironic wounds around how you make money, again, from the career itself. And also can heal chironic wounds regarding connections to groups of friends, and maybe brings you into contact with more meaningful friendship circles in the 6 months that follows this moon. Saturn's already winnowing and weaning away and pruning the tree of friends until 2028 April. So you're narrowing down your friendship groups and belonging groups because you want people that you really want in your life, not just the riffraff, so you're just like becoming discriminating. On the 15th, Venus will give us a surprise as she sextiles Uranus. It's a sweet little moment in time of a light touch of happy surprises. Well, also for you, maybe downloads and insights. If it's downloads and insights, it connects to writing or teaching or marketing or traveling or social media. If it's not an insight, then it's a surprise that has to do with people that belong to the third house, siblings, cousins, uncles, aunts, local friends. Surprise, positive. With Venus opposite Pluto, could be some surprises regarding power and control, toxic love, the power of love and the love of power, but in connection to ninth house stories. That can mean a sibling too older, for example, or ninth house stories, connections to a difficult circumstance being unearthed or uncovered, connected to your sibling life, or quite possibly connected as well to people that you have known in your childhood, like more like your elementary school years. And maybe Venus is going to dig up some dirt. If you are in a dating style relationship, not a committed one, this can unearth information that was hidden from your view about your relationship person. Okay. It doesn't have to be bad. It just you might find out something underneath the surface that you need to know. All right. Finally, if you have a hidden enemy, okay, and especially if the hidden enemy is posing as a helper, mentor, guide, or something like that, or they're from another country, or they've been targeting the online world, then this hidden enemy will get exposed under this energy, okay? So you can get your handle on them and maybe clear them out of your life once and for all in one electric turbocharged detonation of sayonara. All right. And we move that story forward. We must always move forward in time to the 17th of the month, where Venus will trine Neptune for dreamy soulmate love. Well, twin flame, divine complement, take your pick, higher love, unconditional love, sacred love, agape love. Venus is in your third house. That's your local environment, the restaurants, the movie theaters, the supermarkets, the gas stations, and the everyday world that you travel in, your fishbowl. And that part of where you're experiencing Venus, the goddess of love, ruler of the dating and romance house, well, it could be important because it could end up looking like a divine complement is stepping into the story. With Neptune, it could indicate the way in which this person shows up is because you're doing something social with a group of friends, a large event structure like a conference or something, or a connection to being introduced like to this person through a friendship network or group of belonging, like the book club or some social friends, and the connection coming through that part of your sky. You're more likely to meet this divine complement in a social event, likely tied to the neighborhood, even a house party, for goodness sakes, than you are, say, in a professional capacity. So by wandering the neighborhood, walking your dog and all of that, or going to the local environment, or hanging with friends, or doing an event, public event in the neighborhood or in the town you live in, if you're single, then this could open up a door of intersection with this person, okay? Also, you could go on a beautiful, dreamy trip with siblings or friends from the hood, and there's this beautiful trip that you're taking, so that could be the journey as well. Venus does rule the romantic house, right? So you can take a trip with your kids under this too. I might book my kids away to Whistler with me. A beautiful, dreamy trip with your kids or a romantic partner. Yeah, is possible as well. Then she's doing her gig. We're going to talk about the sun now sextiling Chiron in his brand new story. Can I sing? Not really, but I'll try. It's a whole new world. I can't say. It's a whole new world. Da, 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 da. Why is it a whole new world? Because Chiron will leave 2019, 9 years back here. He's leaving, right? Whatever. He's getting out of there. And now he's going to test for 3 months from the 20th of June until the 17th of September, the 12th house story. Now, Chiron here in real-time stories can be shamans, teachers, guides, and mentors, far off lands and foreign places, gurus and teachers as well. You might come into that, or you might be healing ancestral patterns and karmic wounds, okay? And that will be true for 7 years until 2033. But he's just testing that earth energy and seeing how it feels, right? Trying it on for size. And as he ingresses, he also flows to the Virgo moon in the 4th house. Therefore, deep roots, ancestral roots healing, past life healing, is underway. And you'll feel a lot of kind of healing and wounding and healing and wounding around your childhood and people you knew in your childhood, and digging it up and fixing it up. Okay. And it can even involve wounds connected to your childhood, connected to money as well, and working it, figuring it out. All right. Now we'll be doing a webinar on that. All right. And the other energy to notice here is going to be the idea that Chiron, as he's tiptoeing in here, is going to also be flowing to the sun. Watch the sun cross out of Gemini. You've been under that spotlight for a whole month, right? Kind of burn you out a bit. And now the sun is not burning you out. You're not under the hot Klieg lights. You're not in the desert with no shade. Now the sun has moved into your 2nd house, and it will be here for a month. And this is a solstice, and beautifully placed, because here we have Jupiter allowing the sun to enter the exaltation zone of Jupiter. And Jupiter Mercury is commercial success, marketing, selling, enterprise, business, communications and success, etc. And it's interesting to me because the sun is talking right away to Chiron. And there's something deep here for you guys, deeper than deep, because it was right back to the South Node in the house of family and childhood and family of origin. There is some kind of rewiring that wants to happen around your values, around wealth, prosperity, money, calling, voice, and vocation. With Mercury there, maybe you thought your path was a certain thing. Mercury represents when you were a youth, when you were young, and now you're ready to open to the bounty of what's possible. Maybe there's something different that you're here to do or be or become, but you're also going deep. So I don't think you're going to find this negative. This is a beautiful miniature trine that flows. If you make money in distant shores and foreign lands, there could be some healing about money coming to you from international revenue or borderless income. That could show up that way as well, as the sun is flowing beautifully to Chiron, but also to the Virgo home and nest where the South Node of Destiny is living. You might want to think about this as well as sort of pulling the, plug, like a tub full of water on, when it's a tub full of earth, and jettisoning whatever these wounds are, especially on the matrilineal line on mother's side or mother relationship regarding money, earning, self-worth, and self-value. It's very healing energy. It's very positive. You don't have it here for a long time, but you have it here in a very succinct way on the solstice, June the 21st. And you'll feel it very strongly in the couple of days after as well. What about the sun also flowing to the North Node of Fate? Destined shifts through the healing archetype to increase your worldly success and your financial income, earnings, and money. So this is going to actually make you richer should you do the inner work or the healing that arises here. Now, the next thing to pay attention to, I need water. The next thing I want you to pay attention to here is that you're going to notice that Venus, who brings beautiful, positive, grace-filled, lucky vibes, in Leo, will really work with Saturn in a beautiful fire trine in the houses of desire and relationships. Before we talk about it, remember that Venus moved in, or if I didn't tell you, moved in on June 13th to Leo. And in that third house whole sign will stay there until July the 8th. You're going to be more social in the local environment. You'll take leisure and pleasure trips for romance or engaging with your children. And you will be very, very enjoying your online social media, writing, teaching, marketing, and selling landscape. And you might be very creative, artistic, and inspired by the muse, like to write a new course or create a new website or start a new social media platform or something like that. But what I'm noticing here is around the 21st, it's building. And by the time we get here to the 24th, Venus is trying to work with that debilitated Saturn, and where you're working hard to make career gains happen, but you could be feeling devoid of pleasure. Something's changing. On a practical note, sure, travel with siblings, travel with children, yeah, consolidating the plan. But at a much deeper level, there's something much, much more important going on here. I kind of would say, because, Saturn is the ruler of your house of book publishing, your house of dharma, your house of purpose, your house of education, your ninth house, that this is a realignment for you. It's a real realignment towards enjoying your life in your work while working hard, but not burning out. There's a vibe here of international success as well, from creative projects and online endeavors or marketing, selling, writing, communicating, teaching. Depends on your job. Venus exalts your career house, you see. So there's something good trying to happen in all of those areas. But I want you to think about, that button, that was easy. She's trying to give you that was easy button instead of the grinding energy in the house of earnings from the career itself. This is supposed to be fun. So you want to find some fun in the way you earn money. And if fun could come from the third house. Is writing fun? Is there a certain thing you want to do in your communications, teaching, writing zone that can feel fun and enjoyable and bring you pleasure and inspiration? That's what's going on here. And a solution is being found. All right. If you're in a love story, especially if you're in a dating story, the downside of this is there's a friend who doesn't like your partner, but now you're smoothing out the ruffles. Okay. You're dating someone in one of your groups of friends, somebody's like a Debbie Downer or whatever. And now you can smooth it out and find a new harmony under those circumstances. Yeah. On the 28th of the month, we have Mars sextiling Jupiter. Well, Mars is all about the action and the determination, the will and the drive. And what's he doing? Well, he's plowing through your Taurus 12th house. He's been here for a while. May the 19th to June the 28th. What's good about Mars in that house if you want to quit an addiction? I don't care what. Everything from too much ice cream to like meth or something. You cut, end, and sever self-undoing bad habits and patterns. Starting May 19th to June 28th, you're golden. It's like you can figure out how to do it and you're able to do it. It's not that hard. You just make a decision. Mars makes decisions and you just stop. It's like Nancy Reagan, just stop. So you can just stop those things. That's what Mars is telling you here, especially given that he's flowing to Mercury, Jupiter in the house of what you put in your nose or mouth. So what I'm getting here on the 28th, right? You've been working with this Mars now since May 19th. Is there's an opportunity or a goodness or a blessing or amazing grace happening as Jupiter and Mars will flow to each other in a sextile at a completion degree, the anaretic degree of the sign of both Cancer and of Taurus. And so the bulldozer clears the way for happy, blessed grace and beautiful dispositions on your addictions. Now, how about making money? Sure. Mars and Jupiter are commercial success, enterprise, business success, on and on we go. And Mars is in a house of backroom deals and negotiations and money from digital income, borderless revenue, foreign companies, countries, and people, far off lands and shores. Maybe there's an opportunity for money that's very luscious coming to you. And this is negotiation, Mercury. Make a deal. So you might find a new way to Mars rules your employees, to write contracts with employees if you have them. giving you this, or you could become an employee and you're getting some kind of contractual negotiation opportunity that's blessed coming to you. Could also increase your worldly success in your visible career. It can open up more money for you, and also perhaps give you a sense that you've been given a divine blessing in your money, but it likely isn't winning the lottery under the sky. It's something connected to vocation, employment, employer structures, and the north node of worldly success, of course, up at the top of your sky in your career house. Look for foreign people, in particular men, to be very instrumental in this blessing. The full moon in Capricorn is happening at 8 degrees, and it's happening on the 29th of the month. The full moon in Capricorn will be completing something seeded in the new moon phase, which is likely in December. Don't count on that. December, January, new moon. So about 6 months earlier, new beginnings and fresh starts. Probably was January for some time. And you planted a new seed. Now, the new seed that you planted on the new moon in Capricorn is about money. Now, it could be taxes, tax structures, investment portfolios, building wealth through investments, banking loans and mortgages, planting a seed, now fulfilling the seed. Let's take a look at the moon together without losing everything. The moon will be at 8 degrees of Capricorn. This is a very powerful sky because it was around that point where Venus star pointed in January. Mars also conjoined the sun in January. These are 6th and 9th. So this is a very hot spot in your sky. Now the full moon is here. So there's a lot going on where you want to fulfill or blossom into being or spotlight or highlight your 8th house. This full moon will always come back to money. Yes, the moon is stoic and determined and exiled, but rules your second house of money, pocketbook, wallet. So this full moon with Jupiter witnessing it has protection and is more blessed than if Jupiter wasn't witnessing it across the way. There may be a fulfillment of some kind of financial plan, business partnership that you've been considering, and it may be the opportunity to buy or purchase a home or sell a home. Now, the possibility of doing that, the fulfillment of that is here, but the fulfillment may not occur on the 29th. It's a door opens there. Over the 2 weeks that follow, do you have an opportunity to purchase or buy a home? Ask yourself that. Or do you see evidence that your next 6 months ahead, you'll be going in that direction? Because the south node baked into your 4th house might mean leave or change of home, you see. Mars rules your house of rentals. And because Mars was right here, looking at the rental house, but will also flowing to lucky Jupiter, there also may be a golden rental opportunity emerging around the 26th, 27th of the month. All right, golden rental property as well. But then this moon is bigger than that. This is going to take you even full 6 months afterward to know what it's about. And it could involve some financial dispensations, extra chunks of money, Google AdSense, royalty income, sign-on bonuses, severance packages, chunks of money, exceedingly like lovely big chunks of money coming at you in the next 6 months after this moon. And don't forget, because Mercury's hugging that Jupiter, looking at that, and Mercury's the Lord of your story, a lot of this looks very positive for you. I do see some possibilities of being able to pursue the possession of land here, buy, sell, whatever it is. So this is important here. The asteroid America keeps floating around. Just ignore it. That's what I've got for you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Good luck on that beautiful month ahead. Hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing. I'll see you guys in the future. Under the description box, everything I have. If you're on a TV, then you'll have to use a device. The more button apparently doesn't exist on your TV. About 4% of people watch on their TV. So if you're one of them, there you go. The other thing I'd like you to notice is remember my call to actions. You can sign up for you can buy any of my courses for 40% off. There's a couple of dozen to celebrate my 150 mark, reaching that. as I record it in early May, and you want to use the code CELEBRATE, all caps. You can also check in, and maybe you would like to get your hands on my Divine Timing Masterclass, the last weekend in May, Q&A the first week of June, 2 classes. If you want to get into that last class and also be able to access all the other classes behind you, you don't have them forever, the other 4 classes, you just have to check below. There's a big discount for the super late comers. And then also finally, you might want to consider the idea that you come into that Chiron webinar at a nominal fee, $10, $15, $14. The reason I'm doing that, I had I just think like my Uranus webinar, 600 people enrolled, and I had a tip jar and I got 2 tips. Okay. What I'm saying is that I put these out for education. I think I want to teach you to fish. I don't want to provide the fish, but this time I'm going to ask for a nominal entry fee. Okay. Because I put a lot of energy, time, and work into it, making the webinar and then teaching it. So this is a charge. Sorry. It's just fair. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next video.
Lunatic astrology.